But Steve, don't you just drink coffee all day? 10 things you probably didn't know about us as far as what we do every single day alongside enjoying a few coffees. Number 1, sales training and sales management training. That is by far the most amount of time that we spend and I personally spend is working with companies. It's a lot in Toowoomba, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Tasmania. We constantly working with anywhere between 22 to 27 clients every month as an ongoing relationship. And we found that with my first client, actually, I picked up my first retainer-based client over 2 years ago and they're still with me today. And we found out that a lot of manufacturing companies all have the same problem, which is they've got a manufacturing floor with a whole bunch of staff and machinery that they need consistent sales in. So what we do is we work closely with the sales team directly and I coach them through sales methodology and doing sales training, the whole lot, effective communication, follow-up strategies, the whole lot. And then I also work with the sales management team and directors of the company as well. From a leadership perspective, Amy helps out there too, but that by far is the most amount of time that we spend, number 1. Number 2, every single day we're doing small business coaching. So on top of those clients we just spoke about, we're working with a dozen small businesses. And I'm a big believer that you shouldn't coach or train in anything that you don't know. And so this is why we call it small business coaching, because I don't own a big business. And I think a lot of people get that wrong out in the marketplace. They can sometimes view what we do is not exactly what we do. So we work with a lot of small businesses and help them put systems in place, help them with marketing, help them with sales, helping them with leadership, helping them with some parts of how they can get their head around the financial parts of the business, understanding the 5 key metrics in their business, understanding their lead generation, all of that sort of stuff. That's a big part of what we do every day as well. Number 3, JT, what is it?
Videography.
Videography. This guy is behind a camera nearly all of the hours every day, and when he's not doing that, he's editing. And we've actually got some clients that outsource editing to us. So they film it down in Victoria, they shoot the raw footage to us, JT edits it up and sends it. Hey, by the way, they give you massive feedback because one of their big clients said it was the best thing ever, those training videos you put together. So kudos to you, mate. And obviously you've seen a lot of our content. So yeah, that's a big part of what we do every single day as well. We also work with a few clients. Hey JT, yeah. You probably got a half a dozen clients you're working with at any given time.
Easy.
Number 4, digital marketing consulting. So I'm working with a few big companies at the moment. I just presented a big keynote to a ginormous company. To give you context, the director of the company is worth $800 million. That was terrifying. But talking to them about digital marketing and how content has changed and how social media is impacting people. So a lot of my time is also spent from a strategy point of view, helping people with mostly around Facebook. So content creation, detailed targeting, retargeting, getting everything set up for them and then showing them how to leverage what we call their unfair advantage. So we do a lot in the digital space as well. Number 5, JT, this is more you, mate. We built some websites. We've probably done a dozen websites. Probably more. Yeah, we've got another 6 on the go at the moment. So plenty of websites, probably be 18 websites at the end of next month. So a lot of what we do is build websites for small businesses, mostly. We don't do the real big stuff. It's more like people that want a really strong identity. They want it creatively. They want it to get the message across loud and clear. So if you go to steveclayton.com, equipconsulting.com.au, hope this video is helping people understand a little bit more about exactly what we do other than coffee. Number 6, team training days. At least once a month, maybe twice a month, helping people with their team training days. So we go across the opposite effect methodology, teach people frame, control, and social dynamics. And that's something I love doing. I love team training days. So all over Australia, we're doing those as well. Number 7, when I've got a bit more time as well, I do keynote speaking. So there's probably the same as team training days, once or twice a month. recently did the Big Ideas Summit, did that keynote on Saturday down the range there. So that's something I really love doing. Long term, this is what I want to do forever. That's my long-term vision. Everything that I do in business is to point to this eventually, that I get to travel around and speak for a living. It's what I love doing. Number 8. Once or twice a year, normally once a year, I take a sabbatical and get away from the business to write books. So in the last 3 years, I've written 4 books. The first book was Sales Juice. It's more of the basic sales methodologies. It's great for when I'm training sales teams. They normally get a copy of this. It's got 12 chapters of some really strong fundamentals that everyone should have in place. The second book I wrote was inspired by the death of my grandfather, written in 7 days in 2014. The Diary of a Success-Driven Kid, very much around personal development and documenting your story. So that one was a good experience. The third book I wrote was for my kids, Sammy the Salmon, Go Against the Flow, by, of course, the shortest one, but one of the hardest ones to write. My kids love it. It's really, it's fun. That was fun. And then the fourth book is The Opposite Effect, which has really changed the game for us. So that was a 14-day trip in San Francisco at the end of last year. And really it talks about the key methodology of how we use, it's a chess player's mindset. It's the strategy behind everything you say and do, playing offense and defense simultaneously, having strategy behind your content and the marketing, having strategy behind your investments, the whole lot. And then the next book is due to be written at the end of this year. Number 9, we're nearly there, JT. Habitat Coworking. This is my first little side venture just across from our new offices here. We've got a co-working space. It's a boardroom that we hire out. Amy and JT do a fantastic job of taking care of our guests that come and hire that. We get people in there to do, working on the business rather than in the business, and they exclusively hire it, so it's a little investment of mine. And then 10, the thing that I really enjoy is community involvement. So apart from all of that, I'm really passionate about sponsor kids. So we've got 4 sponsor kids directly through the business, and we're hoping to expand that. It's a great group of people in Indonesia helping out the less fortunate kids. So we love being able to funnel some effort across there. JT and I talked about this, we'd love to get over there one day and film a bit of a documentary around that. That could be eye-opening. But then the other thing we do is we sponsor local things. So we recently sponsored the Good Life Festival. Shout out to you, Loz. We're sponsoring Brendan Golby's LinkedIn event alongside Queensland Hot Property this Thursday. And also there's plenty of meetings, and JT knows this. We're an open door policy here, and there's people we catch up with almost daily that we just help them out and have chats with them and give them some ideas and insights, and keynotes at TAFE and talking to grade 10 kids, and that's the thing, like helping people expand their thinking and teach them to have a crack. So all of that is not there to say how impressive it is, but rather to show you behind the scenes, because a lot of people, I think, look at us and just say, don't you just drink coffee all day? Although coffee is an important part of the day, and there's still plenty that we haven't shared. I'm sure you'll find out in due course, but that's what we do. And just PS on all of that, I've got this photo here. Massive shout out to my girls, and most importantly, my wife, Anna. Because anyone that's in small business would know this, it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of stress, but there's normally more people in your life that give you the support and the encouragement. In fact, for my wife, Anna, and the girls, thank you for sticking by your papa, as they call me, because without them, none of this would mean anything and it wouldn't make sense. So I think if you can take one takeaway from this video, for the 3 people that have made it to the end, I want to give you 2 pieces of encouragement. One is to criticize less. And honestly, the reason why we're shooting this video and the reason why I'm okay with this going in the end here, JT, is because there's going to be 5 people that make it this far. The reason why we're shooting this video is we're copping a whole heap of criticism when we know a lot of our people that we're coaching is getting a whole lot of criticism at the moment. So it doesn't make sense to me, team. Like if you're one of these people that like to criticize and like to talk about other people behind their back or spread some nasty stuff around that simply isn't true, take that energy and put it into encouragement or put that into your own thing, and you're going to get far better results than criticizing other people. That's lesson number one. Lesson number two is collaborate, not compete. And I think there's room for everyone in the marketplace, and I think a lot of the time we're in this small business world where people like to compete with each other and they feel threatened and they want to bring other people down, or it takes their focus away. There's room for all of us. Like, do your numbers. You don't need everyone on the planet. Like, there's room for all of us in small business. So my encouragement to you is to collaborate, not compete. Finn.